intro.
Listen, you guys wanted some young talent. You got tired of me talking to old people. So I'm your DJ. I'm your host. I'm your podcast king. And I got to give the people what they want. Branden Clemens is in the house.
Hey guys.
Branden, do you have the shirt? Show him the shirt.
Oh yes, I do have the shirt. A nice little
from my boy
shout out to the alma mater.
To my boy Kenneth Bassarath, who gets the joke. He's wearing my Harvard tie. Like he went to Harvard. So we before we got on the air, we were talking a little bit about the alumni game, and we talking about Indiana. Let's talk about the alumni game. Let's talk about just going back.
Yeah, it was really great. I got to go back to my alma mater recently for an alumni match, and it was incredible. It was rejuvenating. There's an energy about Boston that, as much as I love and probably prefer California, there's this kind of energy there that's just not present here. There's this hustle and bustle of everyone walking around, taking the metro, going to classes, like doing work in coffee shops. And I love that. And it kind of reminded me of all the great opportunities and experiences I had in college, and kind of reawakened something in me that maybe was a little dormant for a while. So it was awesome. Well,
very much like New York, it's even these crowds and so condensed. Somehow it's still intimate. You know, it's supposed to be impersonal. Everyone's supposed to be wound tight because everybody's so fucking close to each other. And that's not the case. It's intimate. There's a general level of caring, if not realness. Boston, very much like New York. If someone doesn't like you, they're not going to, and I had this conversation with Mark Burek, if you remember, they're not going to pretend that it's just a waste, there's only 24 hours in a day, they're not going to be rude, but they're not going to, and here, there's the whole living the dream thing, but the intimacy is different. I'm not saying one's better, one's worse. It's just different, and I miss it too. I'm a native New Yorker, my dude.
Oh yeah, everyone's wicked busy, just doing their own thing. But at the same point, I think because everything is so walkable and everyone takes public transit a lot, most places, that there are a lot more opportunities for interactions. And sure, there's a little hustle and bustle along the Strand of Hermosa, but it's not quite the same. So it was great getting to go back, remember all the all-nighters I pulled, all the morning lifts and double days that I did there. And I also had to bust out my big jacket out of storage. So I definitely didn't miss.
When was the last time I wore that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it had been a while. So, but it was good. It was good. Just happy to kind of remember where I came from and kind of really use that to contextualize where I am now, and really excited about the future.
Doesn't it also remind you that you have shit to do when you come back home? We were talking about that before the podcast.
Yeah.
The thing I like and hate about Hermosa Beach, what I like is it's like a vacation. I don't have to come back home from. What I hate about it, it's a vacation I don't have to come back home from. I'm like, I got this project I got to do. I'll put it off tonight. Nah, tomorrow's another day. I'll do it, whatever. I call it California drunken stupor, meaning you can just be, and you're not even drinking. You're not even drinking alcohol. You're just in this la-la phase, which feels terrific.
Oh, yeah.
It's like morphine drip on the beach.
The sun and the beach are intoxicating. You can spend a full day at the beach, feel really productive, and then realize that you didn't get any actual work done of the things that pay the bills a little bit more right now. Mm-hmm. But it's great. To me, it kind of reminds me of, kind of like an endless summer. So in college, I used to come out to the South Bay and spend my summers training with USA Volleyball for their junior tournaments.
The high performance tryouts?
The high performance stuff. I got to represent the USA 3 times.
Outside hitter?
No, so for beach, actually.
For beach. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, did I never tell you that?
No.
So I got to do 2 U21 World Championships in 2013 and 2014.
With who? Whether
So I played with Chris Long in
I know
my
Chris.
first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
A spunky little
UCLA
lefty.
guy, right? Yeah.
Yes, UCLA.
Uh-huh.
Now doing getting his medical degree in Miami, but still playing. And then in 2014, I got to play with Jackson Bantle, another lefty from UCLA.
Yeah, man.
It's like I have a type or something.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it was great. Got to travel to Europe and just have that experience of wearing, USA on your uniform and feeling pride in representing a country that you love, and just getting to play volleyball at the highest level that you can. And I love it. It's but like I said, sometimes it's weird. I just moved up to the South Bay in January.
Oh, you did?
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
So I'm living in Redondo,
Nice.
North Redondo. So it's like just inland from Hermosa, and it feels like endless summer. So I have to remind myself, it's like, nope, I have a job. I have things to do. So in addition to volleyball, like I have this other side of me. But I really like the duality of it.
That's the name of our club, the volleyball club I coach.
Really? Duality?
Endless Summer Beach Volleyball.
Oh, endless summer.
Duality would have been...
That would be good. That'd be really...
What? I gotta give you the credit for it. If I ever make a club, we gotta call it
trademarked.
Yes, because everybody's gonna be like, "What's your name? Crushers, Evolution, this, Endless Summer, Duality."
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought of a volleyball team called Vanity. That would have been cool. But not everybody's good looking like me, so it'd be hard to recruit. So that's a bitch,
High standards.
What are we gonna do? Right? What are you gonna do? Indiana, similarly, right? You spent some time home, which also reminds you, where you get the intimate feeling, but also reminds you that the hustle and bustle, man. You feel like you're slacking, right?
Yeah. Well, it was definitely nice going back to Indiana. My parents moved to Florida, where they're both originally from, and where all my family lives. After I moved out to California 4 years ago, so I hadn't really been back just because I had been using all my vacation time for AVP tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, man.
And
super necessary.
Yeah, and so I finally took the opportunity to go back. One of my best friends was about to propose to his girlfriend, so I made it a point to go back for that.
Bend the knee.
Yeah, and it's just incredible because each day's a new day, and you don't want to focus on the past, but it is important to recognize where you came from. And the volleyball community in Indiana is so tight knit. It was incredible going back and seeing all my high school teammates, club teammates, and really just remembering kind of the group of people that helped inspire and cultivate my passion for volleyball.
Yeah.
Because without them, I wouldn't be here.
I mean, I'm amazed at the talent pool of boys and male players that Indiana and I guess that area in Ohio, Illinois. Because usually it's predominantly for indoor, predominantly as far as popularity is concerned, it's still a woman's sport. So, but this I guess it's just really good coaching out there. It's no accident. Ohio State won 3 times out of the last 10 years, and you got Loyola Chicago the other 2 times, beating Division II Lewis in the finals. So, so the MIVA and similarly the club teams, the Milwaukee School of Engineering, good D3 program. Yeah, man, very, very, a lot of talented male talent out there.
Yeah, there's some great players out there and great programs. I mean, you've got Loy Ball running IPFW.
Yeah. Is he took over for his dad?
I think so, yeah. And, you've got, IPFW, Ball State, Lewis, Loyola, Ohio State. Penn State's, they play in the EIVA, but I always considered Pennsylvania more of like a Midwest state.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of talent
Even
out
the
there.
D3 schools are good. I mean, Juniata's always been pretty good. I mean, you're sure that's a D? Are you sure that's a D3 school?
Right.
What the hell?
Yeah.
St. Francis, PA, always competitive. Philly Bible had a new program. At the beginning when you were a freshman, Philly Bible had a team like 2008, 2009. That's a couple of years before you came in. Brubaker family, I recognize. And the weird thing is about the East Coast is like on the club level, they don't even care about divisions because D1 at the time, before there was a Division III championship, D1 and 2 and 3 had to play each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was at Hunter College for a cup of coffee. We had to, we were in the EIVA. So. Yeah, but I had a good team though.
Yeah, I think the Midwest is slowly, volleyball just in general is growing in the U.S. I think the inclusion of collegiate beach volleyball for girls is definitely helping out
It's
with this
business now.
popularity. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's great, and I mean the girls' side is as competitive as ever, and I definitely think people are seeing the benefit of volleyball in general. I think the Midwest has some great college programs, and they've also got a lot of beach communities out there. You know, it's funny. There's a huge tournament happening in Cincinnati this weekend that I know a bunch of California teams are flying out to play, and I'm flying out to play in it too.
What is it?
It's cool. It's at Grand Sands in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah. Grand Sands.
And yeah, it's funny. I like grew up playing beach volleyball there in high school, and yeah, they've got a great indoor facility, and they've got a couple of courts outside. I imagine since it's March in Ohio, we'll probably be playing indoors, but
We're hoping.
yeah, it'll be nice, you know. Maybe a little
I
home
think
court advantage.
Ohio Valley. They might have made some in some courts or whatever. That's one of the bigger clubs out there for juniors, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, Midwest. I always think of what's the one in Wisconsin in Oshkosh? What's that called? Boat ride.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Boat ride tournament. That's grass threes. It's a beach doubles.
Oh,
The
wow.
the Bongers are there every year. One guy I used to play with, Elnis Palomino. He played for the Dominican national team. He went out there at the time of his life, and grass court. I guess when you're young, it's less grueling. But honestly, regardless of age, when you play grass, right, and then you start playing beach full time, the first time you play grass again, it's a different kind of sore.
Oh,
Like you could practice,
completely.
you could have a tournament, and they're like, Brian, hey, come on, let's go dance, or let's go get some food, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna take a shower. That's beach, okay? Grass, it's like, Brennan, you coming through? It's like,
No, definitely not. Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, even sometimes when you're playing on courts that are just more packed, like just
Yeah.
the sand's a little more shallow.
Hi,
Like
Huntington.
even then, sometimes like your joints can hurt a little bit afterwards if you get used to like how deep Hermosa and Manhattan are. So yeah, I definitely appreciate beach volleyball for the longevity that it provides to your
Definitely.
body, and I think we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but 2020 is definitely a big focus of mine is just mental and physical health after, you know, kind of what happened to me last year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Let me bring the people on this, and you can take the steering wheel. Branden last year at Huntington Beach made the main draw, played with Dylan Maarek.
Yep.
One of the I think, as far as for chemistry purposes, you are the best partner each other's ever had, and that's saying a lot because he played with Dave Palm and other partners. I know firsthand because I was working with Jeff Samuels and Dave Palm, and you beat us on the third round to get into the draw. Well, I ended up playing the McKibbins the first round. You looked amazing. You looked like an indoor guy who brought the multiple dimensions of cross court. Right? There's a whole bunch of ways you can hit cross court. There's only one or two ways to hit line. And people were trying to 4-block, and they're trying to jump in. They're trying to, 5 switch on you. And you're like, okay, if I beat this guy, there's nobody. And you were just bam, bam. And you had this whip. And even if you touched the block, you hit it to a point where it was just popping off, going out on your side where there's nothing they could do. And I saw a lot of that in the qualifier. I saw that in the beginning of the main draw. And then match point. And match point, it was weird. You were playing a ball that I didn't even think you were going to get to, but the competitor in you says never die. Besides, it's match point.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? Something happened. What?
Yeah, so I pulled off the net for a transition dig, dug it into the net. Dylan tried saving it. It kind of went out by the pole. And then, yeah, like you said, it was kind of out of reach, but, obviously it's match point. You're going to, sacrifice your body for whatever. Just kind of dove to my side,
Yeah.
fell on the right side of my right leg. And then as soon as I hit the sand, I felt a pop in my knee.
Yeah. Can you pull that up? Do you have that?
Um,
Just put McKibbins against Clemens and go ahead.
Yeah, and then went to stand up, and I couldn't straighten my leg, and I was limping, and I knew immediately that there was something wrong that wasn't just going to be solved by a little bit of rest and ice. So went and got an X-ray and an MRI. I completely tore my meniscus, so it was a bucket handle tear. So your meniscus kind of looks like a figure 8 little gummy. This side kind of completely fell off.
It's May 3rd
so it
something.
was-
May something.
So it was like a bucket handle, like you kind of hold on. So, and it had wrapped around my ACL. and then I had a partial PCL tear as well. So
Posterior lateral. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
yeah, so I went with the
You can go to the end, the very end, last play.
yeah, and I went with the repair option, which takes longer to recover. So you could either just like scrape it out and then just kind of live without your meniscus, but I had that PCL partial tear as well, so I was going to be out
Was
for
it
a
intact?
while. It was intact, but it was something.
Hold that though. Let's take a look at it. You can look at it on this screen if you want. She's gonna put it up on this one.
Jump serve coming.
Right here.
Nice pass, up and down set. Branden, line over Doug, looking for the match. Riley, is it worth it? Let him work it? No, not yet. Dylan, cross court, Doug, for the match again. There's a free ball opportunity, and they hit the antenna. Oh, there's gonna be an argument over this. Maybe not!
That was really loud.
It's got some
Sorry
volume
about
on
that.
that one.
Oh, that's because this was turned up.
Oh
Sorry.
man.
Yeah, it's not loud on that. It's loud on this.
Okay.
Sorry, my fault. Glad you're not wearing that. And that's when it happened, huh?
Yep.
Go back. We can still talk, but I just want the audience to actually see the clip. We can just loop that a little bit.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to look at it. I ain't trying to fucking
Yeah.
mentally traumatize you
Yeah.
and shit. So basically, was the PCL still intact? Was it partially torn? Was it
It
completely
was
torn?
partially torn, but to
Nice
the point
wrist away.
where
Riley says there's always
I
enough
didn't-
cross court.
I was going to have to take
The score is
significant
now
time off anyway.
14-13. Match point opportunity
And
number
with my goals of
3.
playing beach volleyball into,
Arena.
my 40s, just like, Ed and Jake Gibb and, kind of all those.
There's a jump serve coming.
Volleyball
Nice pass, up
models
and
that
down
you look
set.
up to.
Yeah.
Branden, line over Doug, looking for the match. Riley, is it worth it? Let him work it? No.
The
Not
long
yet.
game, yeah.
Dylan,
Yeah, exactly. And
cross court, Doug.
it killed me to have to sit
the
out
match
for
again.
4 months, especially the 4
There's a free
months
ball opportunity.
during which season
And it hit the
happens.
antenna. Oh, there's going to be an argument over this.
Happens.
Maybe not.
How did you get back up?
I think at that point it was
Ends all speculation.
And then it
putting the
crashed.
ball down. Riley McKibben taking over the match, winning 2 sets to 1, 15-13. I am so out of here because
limping,
Brent.
couldn't extend it fully. Got a ride to the players' tent.
Yeah.
They checked it out. Luckily, like ACL was intact, so they were like, "That's good." I sat it out for a while, but then had to forfeit my second match. It was the
Yeah, I
first,
remember that. Yeah.
first ever match I've ever forfeited in my life.
Yeah,
so that,
I mean, they
really
gotta-
hurt.
No. It sucked twofold. One, and the audience listening will appreciate this because we said this off camera. The moment that you get injured, the moment before that moment, and everyone's gonna laugh, you're playing the best volleyball or the best you've ever played in a long time, if ever. And there's always that moment that you get hurt before that. You're like, everything is going awesome. It's not like something that was a wane or there was no warning sign. Those are the freakish ones that just shock your mind. They shock your body. That's one. Two, it's bad in the twofold because you're not the type of person where inactivity is a good thing. You're a fucking shark. If you stop moving, you'll die. Okay, that is your mentality. You're very much like Kelly, my wife. She's moving all the time. She's gone right now. She's doing stuff, playing volleyball. Got the nannies. Need a ride home? No problem. Habit burger? Sure. So must be a Harvard thing. I don't know. But she's 2000, graduate 2000. But yeah, so that must have effed with you twofold.
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously after getting injured, I expected the physical implications of it, having to do PT pretty extensively. So I had PT for 4 months, three times a week. So I expected that. I just didn't expect the mental implications.
Jesus.
Where
Oh my God.
I felt like I essentially had adrenaline and endorphin withdrawals. There was nothing to fill that void in my life, and I have a job, I have a career, and so it's not like I didn't have things going on.
Right.
It just as much as I love my job and as much as I enjoy doing it, I enjoy my coworkers, I enjoy my team, that isn't why I live here. I moved here for volleyball, and volleyball is my biggest passion in life. So not having that made me feel very empty.
Yeah.
And it was a struggle. And I definitely think that's why, after everything's kind of, once I got cleared again and once I was able to start practicing again, I really appreciate, P1440 kind of being the shining opportunity for me.
And we're definitely going to take some time to explore that in a little bit as well.
Yeah. But it came at the perfect time for me, and it's been such a good opportunity to kind of compensate for missing those 4 months and getting me ready for this upcoming season.
Yeah. For me, personally, it was one of those teams where when I played you in the qualifier, and me and you, we're going to talk about you and Ben a few years before that too, of course, because you can't have a podcast without talking about how it all, how it all began in the eyes of the culture here.
Yeah.
All right. If your journey was a lot sooner than that, I get that. For me, when we played you in the third round, I told myself, selfishly, this is a team I could coach. I could coach and we can fucking win. That's the way my mind works. I've been coaching 21 years. I've been playing for 30. More like 6 years on the beach, but like 21 cumulatively, indoor, overseas, whatever. And in my mind, I was like, this is a team. Great defense, great blocking, good chemistry, not emotionally high, not emotionally low. You pick your highs really, really well. Brent and Maarek seems to be the same way across the board. So your playing styles complement each other. So the selfish part of me is like, I could coach that team, and everyone's laughing at me like, yeah, of course my cat can coach that team. But the second part is personality wise, I took a journey, the emotional journey with you guys, because I saw the player you were when you played with Ben, and I saw the player you were when you played with different partners, and I saw who you were that day, and I was like, dude, to a lot of people he's arrived, but I think his dirty little secret is he's just getting started. Yeah. And I desperately wanted to take that journey with you. I was the fan in me, the coach in me came out, but also the fan in me. So I was really, really sad that you got hurt, and I was like, oh, don't tell me I can't freaking see this guy play no more or whatever this year. So, but I'm rooting for you. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I really appreciate that, and it has been. It's been a journey since I moved out here. I moved out in 2016 after graduating, and started working August 2016, like figuring out how I was going to balance, my career and beach volleyball at the same time, and then started playing a bunch of AVP next, and then I was lucky enough.
Did you play with Miles last year in Huntington? Who'd you play with?
Last year? Oh, it was
the one in Huntington.
Yeah,
that wasn't a next. What was that called? AVP America? Is that what that's called?
The
one in Huntington Beach.
I was pretty much.
You were there though, because I remember you had your tribe with you. Dylan and you had your tribe with you.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I was playing with Dylan.
Okay, it was Dylan then.
I think so.
Okay, no, because good. Because as soon as I say tribe, I think of Dylan. When I think of Dylan, I'm like, okay, that's who he's playing with. Yeah. I just put two and two together. My bad. So let's steer the car into P1440. We both have a lot of stories, but we're not here to listen to me talk. I want you to tell me about the first time you went to the developmental program and just take me from there.
Yeah, so it was great. I heard about it shortly after I got cleared to play again in September of last year. And someone said like, oh, are you going to be doing are you interested in like the P1440 program? And I'd heard about it, but because of I was moving from San Diego to Orange County, I didn't really do it, last year. And then I didn't really do it during season because I ended up getting hurt.
Yeah.
So I was intrigued by the opportunity. Ended up just going to the tryout, really enjoying the coaching style, the community there. And I was really, really happy when they said that I made the team and got to join the program. And it's been just such a great ride. I think that the structure that they provide, having, two coaches at every practice, we practice twice a week. It's so nice for me because... So
you're at Huntington, right? There was one in Hermosa. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in Huntington because at the time I was living in Irvine still.
It's easier.
And so ended up staying there. I love the group there. Sean Fallowfield and Dan are such great coaches, and we've got some great characters in our group.
I love me some Pompeo and Arturo. Cool.
Yeah.
They were with us in the summer, so I got a
Oh,
chance to work with them.
awesome.
But sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, it's just I really like our training group. Ed Ratledge is a part of it. Love that guy. He's definitely been like a role model for me just because of his longevity.
He's such a young
on
soul
He is.
too.
Oh, he's such a chiller, And
Yeah.
I love hearing about how his mind works. I just think he thinks about things very interestingly, and definitely have a close connection with him. He was like the first kind of main draw player who would practice with me before I made my first AVP event. So definitely have a connection from that, and we've been training now for the past like 3 years together. It's great. So I was thrilled when he and Rafu won in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That was like such a win, kind of like just for our training group, just because it was like obviously like he and Rafu are the ones doing it, but it's nice to think that maybe I had a hand in helping them prepare for that tournament.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because Rafu was the one that kind of gave me my in for coaching AVP.
Oh, that's awesome.
I said, listen, I just want to do analytics. I just because I was at LMU at the time with John Mayer.
Yeah.
For their beach team, I was the director of operations, and I was like, Rafu, I'm building up. I'm doing this club thing. I moved here. They made me start over. I said, just list me as a coach, and I could do analytics. I could do a charting, like pull charts and this and that. You could take a look at it after a game, and you could keep it. It's good this way, hitters' activity, their directional integrity, how you're playing defense, and also the number of times they're pulling. So because he's into the math part off the court. So it's one of those things. He's like, sure. So he gave me my shot, and then from there, Jeff was like, cool, come on with me. Cassie House is like, cool, come on with me. Earl and Jake subsequently. I think my high point was I got them in the draw in Hermosa Beach.
Yeah.
And it was cool because they tried 7 times and they didn't do it. So, and it was cool because you don't feel like an imposter in a 10 anymore, because there's something about already being part of the clique where you're coaching teams that are already in the main draw, but there's something about coaching your own team where you punch your own ticket. Where if they don't like you, they can go kick rocks, and if they do like you, then you're not an imposter anymore. So it's strange, right? Like Ed was one of your influential people, and Ed's partner Rafu was mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I helped
they're
Rafu
great
because for
people.
Manhattan when he played with Kevin McCulloch. I helped him prep for Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
So they lost first round, and then they won 7 straight matches in the losers bracket
Yeah,
because
they're
Kevin has a
insane.
whip, dude.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I actually got a chance to play with Kevin. It was in 2018. We played together in Seattle in the qualifier. Unfortunately, we lost a tough 1 in 3, but it was cool. He kind of I was like, hey, like come, I know you're kind of like, he was kind of his involvement in tournament play was kind of waning, so it's like it was kind of nice to maybe like pull him out of retirement. Not really, but get him and have that chance
He
to play
was
with him.
neck deep in Viper. Where him and Rafa were coaching in Temecula. He was neck deep in private lessons. Had a baby. Scout.
Yeah.
Scout was if not already there, already here on the way.
Yeah, and
So-
he was getting ready to move up north to NorCal because I think his his wife had just gotten the
Got
job
the Davis
at UC
job, yeah.
Davis. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I think Rafa was at San Diego State now, or
UCSD.
UCSD.
I believe.
Oh,
yeah.
good
Yeah,
for their
UCSD,
women's team.
But
Yeah.
I believe I had heard he might be moving to Florida actually. So that might be interesting.
Florida's
shake
might
up.
be more his speed anyway. Puerto Ricans like Florida better than they like
do,
California, dude.
yeah.
And New York. There's more Puerto Ricans in New York than there are in San Juan. How's that for statistical facts?
Right.
But so P1440, you got a chance to come back at volleyball from a different angle. You physically healed. How long did it take you to heal psychologically? And how did P1440 help you in as far as maybe conquering those demons from the neck up?
Yeah, I actually was impressed with my psychological healing. I was, I think, so I got cleared to start playing again in September. And so I started kind of practicing just a little bit before trying out early October for the program that started up in October.
Yeah.
And I'd say by the time practices started, I was pretty over that hump. But I remember the first few practices when I got back on the sand afterwards, it was like any sort of like diving to the side that was kind of like simulating what happened, like what the motion that I did when I got hurt. I was like, oh, I'm not diving, like,
Yeah, and you're
I would
like,
just, like, I would let the ball go. I would just,
yeah,
it's
and you're like, is it my brain telling me I'm not okay, or is it my body? Is my body saying I'm fine? It's your brain. What the, God help me.
yeah, and I mean, it was definitely the brain, but I definitely think that the practices that we did, or that we've been doing, and just kind of like the overall energy that the coaches and like the training group in Huntington, what we bring to each practice has definitely helped. It's kind of we have the practice from 7 to 9 in the morning, and over the winter that was definitely brutal.
Yeah, it is.
The sun would be rising just as practice was starting. It's freezing,
And if you're not a morning person, man, you got to just become one.
yeah, exactly. So it was definitely good having like your teammates there to keep you accountable, kind of bring up that energy, and then really just get after it. So I think that's I mean, it's been a tremendous help for me in my game, both physically and mentally.
That's good to know. I really like what they're doing out there. Again, I like Pompilio, I like Arturo, and the thing I liked about Pompilio, and if you've ever talked to him, English, of course, as we know, is not his first language. But there's something about English not being your first language and the way you communicate something that is so simple to understand. I'll give you an example. He's with Endless Summer because he worked with us before P1440, and he said good serves make good defense. 5 words, Branden. All right. Do you know how many words it takes me to say if you serve tough? Your serve to space is going to create some freaking down ball, free ball situations, or get them out of system where anything up and down, you're going to eat up. Why the fuck am I saying all that?
Yeah.
Why am I saying all that? Good serves make good defense.
Yep.
I got to stop talking to people like they're an asshole. That's how cool is that?
Oh, it's
that
so
English
cool.
not being your first language, but we all speak volleyball. Some people just do it better. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I've had a handful of Brazilian coaches, and it's something about kind of simplifying the message to make it as easy as possible to convey. And then it's also too, I just think that Brazilians in general just have so much fire about them that like part of it is kind of like a nonverbal communication. Like you can tell just based off of their energy and based off of their demeanor, like, what they're trying to convey to you, and it's contagious. Like I remember one of my favorite things, for the U21 tournaments that I got to play in, I had Jose Loyola as my coach.
Okay.
And he's a great guy. I mean, he's one of the best volleyball players in history.
And a pretty good coach.
Oh yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. And it was funny. He always told me, when you're like, kind of thinking about your offensive strategy, he's like, you need to hit, and then you shoot. But then it's like back to hitting, and I definitely like to incorporate that into my game. I definitely prefer hitting, but it definitely was something like when I was younger and like a freshman in college, kind of just doing beach volleyball during the summers as cross training before
of course.
like really jumping into it full time.
Same thing, dude. Central Park in New York, same thing.
Yeah, it was great advice just to realize the power of like making the defense respect your hard hit and using that to open up your shots.
Right, where a lot of coaches sometimes it's about clientele, of course, depending on who we're talking about. But I've always been a big proponent of using your power to set up shot, as opposed like in system shot game to set up your power. If you're in system, sometimes just take a swing and tell them you mean business. And also, the more you swing, the more rhythm wise, the more it's just going to be there from you when you need it for like a 3-day or a 2-day tournament. So it doesn't feel like you're trying anymore. You're just swinging. I mean, and that's as players, that's what we're trying to do. Retirement, but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to that good, better, best thing where 100 swings doesn't feel like whatever. But getting back to what you said, using beach volleyball as a cross trainer for indoor is the best thing an indoor player can ever do, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, 100%.
Because it only applies to indoor players. Outdoor players who have a really good jump that don't play indoor do not jump higher when they're indoor because they're not aware of the runway. They're not aware of the flat surface in their footing. Only indoor players that play beach and come back jump higher. It's the weirdest thing because I see some guys that sky out of the sand and they're not out jousting me in an indoor game or this or that. So definitely good for a cross trainer. Your blocking is more aggressive because of course you're by yourself, right? Your digging is more aggressive because there's only one person up at the net. The only person that can help you is at the net unless he pulls. So now indoor, like someone's trying to take a free ball with his hands, you're taking your forearms and putting it above his hands, taking his ball from him. So yeah, but the things, and the reason why I'm getting somewhere because I want your thoughts on this. Where it has helped me less is anything to do with offense, like serve receive. I don't think it helped me that much because serve receive indoor is a target and it's timing specific. Okay, I'm an indoor setter. 27 years out of my 30, I was a setter. Germany, I played outside. A setting, not really trying to dish that ball. It throws off the timing of the middles. The outsides, of course. I mean, it's plenty of time or whatever to the four step. And hitting, which is academic. 2-man block, 4 digs versus a 1-man block and 1 dig. So it's helped me tremendously for blocking and digging, but not it didn't hurt my game. It didn't necessarily help that much for offense. Thoughts?
I think that's interesting. I definitely think that blocking skills for beach definitely translate the best for indoor because, if you're able to effectively block and kind of take area and shape what is available for a hitter by yourself, it helps with 2 people. It makes blocking with a middle a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I definitely think digging, if you are used to that bigger responsibility, then obviously like on indoor when you have multiple people, it's definitely going to be a lot easier because then you've got the lines of defense and everything.
You just become a better reader.
Oh,
right?
definitely. Yeah, you definitely read a lot better too. I'd say I think another important thing is just like the physical benefits of it. Like for me, like I wasn't the most physical specimen in like high school, and so like beach volleyball really helped me because obviously it's a lot harder to like jump around and move in sand. So it helped with my agility and mobility and just vertical in general. So I think in that aspect, it might help your hitting just because, there's hopefully if you're practicing enough, like your vertical will be a lot better indoor when you get back. So.
Yeah, because you already, but because your mechanics and your muscle memory already identify with the indoor approach. That's why I was thinking.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say your hitting mechanics are definitely different. You have a lot longer approach probably on indoor. Beach, it's definitely more organic and flowing, and you've got to kind of like move with the wind, move with where your pass is, everything kind of, it's a lot more fluid, whereas indoors a lot more rigid. Just with like you pass to a specific target and then you run your specific set. In beach, you can set up those plays if you want to, but a lot of times the game just kind of happens organically.
Yeah. Well said. I think it was Rob looking in on us. Rob McLean. Rob, keep it
What's
McLean.
up, Rob?
Yeah, Rob. We do an attachment from the Option Podcast called Sports Debate Tuesday, and we just broke our own records. We had 12,000 views on Facebook. I have an NY Varsity Sports handle on YouTube, but also on Facebook. And that, I just promoted it to any English-speaking country or whatever, and we got 12. We broke our own record of 10,000. We about 2 more thousand just last week. So
that's awesome.
I was very, very happy.
Congrats.
I mean, players like you're always going to average 7,000 or 8,000 on the handle. Like Casey, got 11. Jeff got 18,000. So right now that's the most. The only ones even close to him are the theater people. Because, like I said, I'm not just doing volleyball players anymore. Yeah. So, Sports Debate Tuesday is Tuesday, volleyball people Wednesday, actors, comedians, artists. Tomorrow I got someone coming on named Lizzie Martin. She's a makeup artist and a karaoke queen. She's gonna be.
I dabble in some karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh my God.
Every time I drive somewhere is like an episode of Carpool Karaoke.
My man.
Like I don't need James Corden in the car with me to sing along to some pop tunes.
Well, right now that's my outlet. I was in the BFA program at Marymount Manhattan and included some musical theater, of course. I sang choir for 11 years in Brooklyn and at this fire and brimstone dance up the aisles church. You know the kind of church.
Yeah.
If you don't know if you going to heaven or going to hell, you going to hell. If you're not sure, I'm like, okay, I'll bring back a refrigerator magnet. So I get you into those. Boom, put it.
Oh yeah.
So
I feel, I was.
Did you grow up Bible? Was it truly Bible Belt? We're in Indiana.
Yes, there's definitely a lot of religious people in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I didn't frequent church. I've definitely been, but yeah, didn't go all the time, but definitely still like had a big choir experience in my youth. I did choir in elementary school.
You look like you Glee before Glee came. I swear, doesn't he? Miranda, doesn't he?
Yes, he's like an act everywhere he goes.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Yeah, I did choir in 4th and 5th grade, and then I was the lead of our 5th grade play. So, I mean, don't mean to toot my own horn,
dude,
but
all right, I'm leaving.
I'm ready for my Oscar,
I'm out.
or Tony.
I'm out.
And then in middle school, I played the saxophone, and then I was in our 8th grade play, and we did Fiddler on the Roof. And
cool.
That was Lazar Wolf, the butcher.
Nice.
So,
God, man, I wish I did more in high school.
Yeah. I kind of stopped in high school because that's when 8th grade was when volleyball started becoming a lot more serious for me.
Yeah.
And
artists and athletics have the same season, don't they?
Yeah, so you only have so much extracurricular time, and academics were always so important to me. So I wasn't willing to budge on my academic schedule and my academic kind of expectations of myself. So I wasn't able to fit in 2 extracurriculars, and
you played the sax. You said?
Yeah, the alto sax, and then played the baritone sax for a little bit for jazz band.
Nice.
Yeah,
me is viola for a year. Piano for 3, and clarinet for a year. But I wish the hell I just played guitar, man. You can't bring a piano with you. You can bring a guitar. Yeah. I'm like, you can bring a guitar everywhere you go, man. I would have been, thank God, I probably would have been one of them people singing on the trains, having the time of my life. No, just oblivious to Ash, Cool. There goes Rob. Sends love. Okay, I like that.
Aww.
So for me, very, very super religious family. They hate everybody that's not their way. I mean, it was weird. Like honestly, like homosexuality. Like I grew up hating gay people. And then until of course you find out your friend is, and you're just like, wait a second, that's Mike. And you're like, who gives a shit, right? Who gives a shit? So
yeah.
And then and of course. You just educate yourself, on the whole thing. My sister, 2 tours in Afghanistan, she's gay. My aunt's gay, but it was one of those things where there's no tolerance, and I shouldn't consider this tolerance because it's not tolerance. It's just who or what you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see some of my gay friends not use that to identify themselves as a collective whole, okay? You're also a volleyball player. You're also an actor. You're also this. You're also that. You're also a singer. You're not just gay. Like me, I'm not just straight. Yeah, So it was one of those things where I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. It's weird because I'm not that person.
No, it's okay.
I'm clearly not that person anymore.
Well, I'm happy. I wouldn't be talking to you if you were still that person. Because I mean, that was definitely.
Who is
thing.
Right?
I mean, there are people out there, but for the most part, I mean, I had a similar experience where it was like, I guess growing up in Indiana, it was kind of interesting for me just because with kind of the the amount of religious folks that are out there, you kind of feel bad for like. Growing up gay, and you're just like, why am I this way? Like, why, I shouldn't be this way or something. And then it kind of takes you realizing that that's a very I don't know, not everyone thinks that way, and more people are accepting for you to accept yourself. And there's kind of this funny joke that I heard that I really like where people who are super religious and are intolerant of people who are a part of the LGBTQ community. It's kind of similar to people who are on a diet who get mad at other people for eating donuts.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on a diet. You can't eat that donut.
How can you eat that? I'd be like this. No, that's a great joke.
Yeah,
That's a great
or
joke.
It's just like it's an interesting way.
And I
to
think the more people
about it.
that get the joke, the more everybody could just chill the F out. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, my kind of like take just on life in general is I'm kind of a libertarian in the sense that
You like your guns and gay people. Cool,
I don't
right?
really-
Yeah, that's. In fact, we should arm gay people everywhere. Just right.
I mean, my thing is, it's like
Only you can prevent hate crimes. No, sorry.
that's good. That's really good. Wow. You're like part of the musical theater and the comedic theater, it's all in one.
Runs like new. Hardly any miles on it, my man.
But yeah, I guess my point is, it's like you should be free to live your life, and as long as you're not bothering or negatively impacting someone else's life, you should be able to do what you want.
Hank Williams wrote a song called "This Is a Coalition" to ban coalitions, and it's weird because coalitions help because it makes people more mindfully aware and this and that. But I think the point he was trying to make, the last line, why doesn't everybody else leave everybody else alone? And I'm like, that includes the people you had a problem with for no fucking reason growing up.
Yeah.
So, but it's also about not people being tolerant of gay people. It's about gay people being tolerant of people who need to educate themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it would be very unfair for someone to say that the Jason in 1986, he had a problem with gay people or, make gay jokes and they thinks it's funny. I had a good sense of humor. I think even other gay people were laughing at it, but that's not the point. The point is for someone to take that and say that's who I am today is a little bit, it's lazy and it's disingenuous. And I think that's where I was alluding to, the tolerance has to be the other way around. Can we call it reverse tolerance? I'm gonna call it reverse tolerance just to get people to understand, but not by definition.
Well, just like tolerance is a two-way street.
Yeah.
You have to tolerate the fact that sometimes you're not going to agree with someone.
Yeah.
And you can like kind of end a discussion with agreeing to disagree. Like there's a reason why people say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, that is, like you said, it is kind of I don't know, maybe like ignorant to expect people to not change and like kind of, like, oh wow, 1996 Jason wasn't cool with, homosexuals. That means like he can't be now. It's like the Branden from 6 months ago isn't the same Branden who's sitting with you today. Like
it's an evolution.
Yeah, exactly.
We've evolved.
Yeah.
Hell,
and one other kind of focus I
don't even want to look like. In fact, I don't even want to physically look like the person I was when I was 16, 18. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
You should be too.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's like one of my focuses or mindsets recently has just been like, how is the Branden of today going to become better than who? Like the Branden of yesterday. Like, how am I gonna, like, that is one thing I can control. I can't control what other people do or how they react to things I do.
Exactly.
But how can I control like my actions, and how can I become a better person today than I was yesterday?
Can I share a joke? Can you pull up Joel Romero, No for Gay Jesus? Now, she's gonna pull it up. Basically, this guy in his interview, he's a mixed martial artist, right? His English is very, very broken. And he's like, everybody, basically the point he was trying to make was everybody's celebrating and everyone's making money, but nobody has time to say, thank you, Jesus. And he was trying to say, don't forget about Jesus. So his Cuban accent says, no forget Jesus. No forget Jesus. So the next day, Cuban fighter makes homophobic slur. Dana White tolerates this stuff. These bunch of skinheads fighting and Joe Rogan is on the podcast. It's like, no. Is that it?
Yeah. I believe so. We'll see.
Maybe I'm trying English. So I want to say something.
This is it.
I'm trying English.
I'm trying English.
Sorry, I know.
I try in English.
Me, but I'm trying. Hey USC. Hey Miami. Hey Florida.
They're cheering and then everybody just goes silent.
Listen. What happened to you, USA? What happened to you? What's going on? You forget for the best of the world. The name is Jesus Christ. What happened to you?
And at the very end.
USA. Go back for you. Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Oh, man. Don't forget.
Wow.
Because the way he stirred, go where you go back to where you go, no forget Jesus, and everybody was like, everyone was cheering because he's like, because when you're in Huntington and you grab a mic and you say, "What's up, Huntington?" It's a cheap pop and people are gonna cheer. So he got the crowd, and then everyone just went, huh?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, cheap applause still counts as applause, right?
I wasn't trying to use it as a soundbite for a testament to tolerance. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it's this Cuban guy just trying to say, hey, it was around Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is like, hey, you got your health, right? You're in good shape. You surround yourself with a good circulation of friends, and your circle of friends maybe even tighter. And him, as a religious person, says, hey, no, let's take time to just give thanks, and that's to me, that's where my religion continues. There are some parts where the rubber hits the road because of just common sense. There's facts and there's the truth, which we can get into a whole whatever. But that's what I'd like to think the things of God are about. It's about tolerance for everybody. Not just for sins, not just for things you do well, just understanding, like you said, being a better version of yourself, and that starts with understanding everybody else. You can't be a better version of yourself if you're just implosive. Physically, yeah. All right, you know how to do it, and you're a good player or whatever. Good for you. But there's a reason why you and Dylan Maarek have chemistry. All right? You understood each other. There's a reason why you beat Jeff and whatever. You understood this dude is only doing a one block. He insisted on not changing up the block. And you're like, well, let me just keep going cross court really hard until they fix that. Because Jeff didn't have neither one had the twitch reaction. You won that 2-0. And they didn't have the twitch reaction. In fact, their twitch was facing you. And at the end, it was facing the net. So even anything they dug was going this way forward or back off the court where they had to bring it back, where you got to hit them again. So I'm so glad I steered this back to volleyball because I'm a fucking idiot sometimes.
No,
Branden.
it's okay. I think let's just I like how this is kind of happening organically.
Yeah, no, of course. That's how the podcast goes.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that. It's funny, Dylan and I have described like our connection as like mental synchronicity before, where it's like we kind of just like know what each other wants.
Yeah, and he's a hot skinny boy. Look for the people watching. That's the guy behind him. The picture behind him. The two of them together. Yep. Sorry, I broke into that.
No,
Sorry,
it's all good.
I was having a no for gay Dylan Maarek moment. Sorry, he's hot. Sorry.
Yeah,
straight, but I'm not blind. You got asthma, brother.
Right? But yeah, no, I really enjoy playing with him. I think he has such a high volleyball IQ that it's been great getting to like play with him, because a lot of times, especially when we first started, like he would just kind of say like, okay, like I think we should serve this guy, like serve him more towards his line, do this kind of blocking style. I bet he's gonna like, cut shot or something, and then be like, okay, we're gonna run this 3 block, like serve him to his line, he's gonna cut shot, and then boom, he would cut shot, Dylan's right there, like nice little transition set, and then boom. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think we play some really good team defense together. I think we pass and set well. We set each other well, and yeah, he's just fun. He's a great guy to play with.
The cool thing is like technical wise and how you should approach like a game plan that both of you come together with. How much has Indoor helped on that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I definitely appreciate Ondor. I had a great couple years getting to. Was it like? Yeah, I think he coached me for about a year, and
you and Ben, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to stop you. You have to finish your critique, diatribe, or soliloquy like as if you're Andor. Go ahead.
Oh, I got to talk like Ondor? Yeah. So he would always talk to me about like offense and really planning your strategy and how you want to hit. And he would be like, Branden, you need to pass the ball. You need to run the pin, and then just hit the fuck out of the ball, just cross. And then it was just so great because like a lot of times, he used to play, and he's still relatively young, like he's like early 40s, and he would just be like, Branden, just jump up and put your hands over the fucking net and block that ball. I'm fucking 40 and I could fucking block that ball. And the profanity is I'm purposely saying that. He definitely cussed at me a lot, but I loved it.
Said in context.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. And Nah, but he's a great coach, and he definitely made me think about exactly how I want to pass just to set up the offense that I want to run, and definitely made me a bit more aggressive about blocking and serving. So yeah.
Blocking and serving, he covered that on page 116 in his
His
manual.
like 200 plus manual, yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's cool having him before, like timeline wise, chronologically. It's actually pretty cool having him before you have Dylan. Because when you have the
Yeah.
game plan and there's a certain way you want to block or whatever, and this and that, maybe there's some things you revert back to or not. But in my opinion, just watching you guys play from 2016 up to now was fun. It was fun.
No, I definitely think that things happen for a reason, and people come in and out of your life, with a very, at very critical moments. Like, I think everything happens for a reason, and I think that in 2016 and 2017, like, Ben and I were like the young guns and the young guns on the block.
That was
like,
awesome.
yeah, and it was like such a Cinderella moment for us, like qualifying in this like hometown, beating Reed Pretty and Came Shock. Like, that was
who by the way beat Rafu and Kevin McCullough just to get to go. What the hell kind of qualifier was that, dude?
We were in the qualifier bracket from hell. I think that was like their very first match.
Isn't that what makes it so cool?
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, I think it's because neither of them had points, so they ended up being like one of the lowest seeds. And
Yeah.
I believe Rafu and Kevin were like the first seed in the qualifier.
Yeah.
So it really puts the emphasis on
They
like,
were the
never
one-
wanting
the
to
one
be
seed, yeah.
in the qualifier, because anything can happen. You could have two
Who did you
Olympians just show up.
beat before Reed and Kane? Did you play Jeff again? No.
Gosh, it's been so long though.
No, come on.
The memory of that day is playing that match. We got completely crushed by Reed and Kame in the first set. I think it was like 21-12 or something. And I just remember like we went to the sideline. I told Ben, and I was like, I just looked at Ben and I was like, well, we can't play much worse than that.
It's only can only go up.
Right. And so then I think, beat them like 21-19 the next set. And then I just remember 13-13 getting served. And it's like windy at that point already. I pass it, call for like a pin set, and Ben sets me too far out, and I'm like, oh fuck. And I like do a lefty cut shot, and I like, one, I don't shoot that often, as you probably know. I like to hit, and two, like my left hand is like so useless. So I'm like, I don't know why. I never lefty cutted beforehand. Like it just like came out, and I was like, ugh, and then like I just remember getting the freeze like that, and then game point like. Serve Reed, pull off the net, the wind blows a lot, and that was like, before obviously he's made the incredible strides he has to become
all the way
such
to him and Trevor winning Manhattan.
Yeah, of course, like he's an incredible player, but I remember at that time like wind blew a little bit further and he like pulled the ball into the net. I just remember freaking out, like I jumped into like Ben's arms, like because it was like it was so incredible. Like I couldn't believe it. It was incredible, like at the very like most literal definition of incredible, like not believable. I felt like I was living a dream, that it was cloud nine, and it was like such a perfect way to start my like beach volleyball experience out here because it was crazy. I remember when I moved out here, I had job offers in like New York and Boston, and most of my friends from college ended up staying in New York and Boston.
Time at Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a comfortability in staying kind of on the East Coast after you've just been there. But I wanted to take this risk, for volleyball. And I remember moving out here and saying like, okay, my goal is like, I really just want to qualify for like one AVP in 2017. Like for 2016, that was my goal. Wow. That was my goal. And it was like for it to happen at the very first one, and then for Ben and I to go and qualify for 4 more that season.
Wind up on center court too against Crab and Gibb.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like
true.
I love playing against that team.
First game was 22-20 or something. No. Second game?
Second game was I think 21-19.
Right.
So it was really close. And it was so fun.
Takes a while for that to get started.
Yeah. It was definitely like, oh, okay, so this is how the big boys play. man, it was just 2017 was such a thrill, and it was like everything was fun. Everything was just, there were no expectations because it was our first year. We were rookies,
Yeah.
and it was like any point that we got was a bonus because we didn't expect to score like anything. So it was like when you have that mentality of not expecting anything and being happy about anything that is positive, it's just such a healthier way to play and to be just in life, whether that's volleyball or work or just like personal relationships.
And just qualifying. Think about the, like you call it the bracket from hell, right? Yeah. You have like 4 AVP winners. You have 4 AVP between now and whatever. You have 4 AVP winners in that, or 3. And you got Rafu, you got Kame, one with I don't even remember who. No, did he with Tim Baumgren? No, but finalist. Okay, and you got Rafu. Who they beat,
and then
who
Reed,
won.
yeah,
and Reed, who won with just won with Trevor Crabb last year
Yeah.
at Manhattan Beach. That's insane.
yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I think about it and it's still I can't believe it happened, but it was an incredible experience, and it really kept the fire like burning bright, if not brighter. And 2017 went incredibly. And then I think, like most people experience, there was definitely a sophomore slump of 2018.
Yeah.
It's like I said,
Kind of like Dak Prescott style, yeah.
yeah, it's what I was talking about with expectations. It was like, okay, we got our like rookie season out of the way, like, so now it's like obviously we expect to do better than we did our first year. Like, we're older, like we're more experienced. We have that. So like, and as soon as you have that mindset of where you expect to perform a certain way, that's like
Your expectations and your goals cross each other, and then you fuck up.
yeah, well, it's because expectations lead to disappointments.
Of course,
because no matter, like, if you don't expect anything, but like prepare for the best, like prepare for the worst, and like
expect the best but prepare for the worst, right? Something like that.
I don't even like that, because I don't think you should expect the best. Because if you expect the best and you don't get it, then you're going to be disappointed. Like, honestly, it's like you should be happy for every positive thing that you do. And obviously there are some sort of expectations that you should have. But in general, I think the mindset, though, was like, I think things started to become a little less fun. And I think that we weren't celebrating the points that we were getting. And we were like, hyper dissecting everything that went wrong, when like sometimes they just hit a really good shot, or they just hit a really good angle, and you just have to accept that, and like that's out of your control, and like obviously there are things that you can learn from it, and you shouldn't be completely blind to what happens, but
you don't want to have paralysis through analysis.
Exactly, you don't want analysis paralysis. And like I was saying earlier, like today's a new day, or like this point's a new point. Like, look back at yesterday or the last point, but don't stare. Because as soon as you start staring, like, that's not your focus. You need to focus, like, onward and upward,
Yeah. There, here's the thing. In acting 1, all right? I was at Marymount Manhattan. When I auditioned, what the hell? They were ranked number 2 in the country. I got in, decided to do my education there. All right? Acting 1, we have something called GOAT that every first-year student knows. Goal, obstacle, tactic, expectations. All right, I'm doing a scene. Let's say Angels in America. I don't know. Maybe my goal is to get her to love me again. The obstacle, she thinks I'm with somebody else. Tactics, just do the things that we did in the beginning of our relationship that fired it up. Expectations, I get her back. You know what I'm saying? So, but if your goal is, it's mixed with your expectation. Like if your expectation is for you to stay together for the rest of your lives, and you play that as your goal, they cross over. And the same thing with volleyball. You can't get in, and I'm getting somewhere with this. You can't get in on the court to be the best. You play volleyball. You do your fucking job, and then being the best, the expectation takes care of its own, right? Your goal is to execute a game plan that you saw on videotape. Your obstacles might be Dahlhauser, might be up there, might be a giant on the other side of the net. Your tactics, use your wrist, fucking hit him in the noggin if he split blocks. Your expectation, is to play real well in this tournament, right? And that's where I thought maybe you and him might have crossed hairs a little bit. And that's because the points weren't becoming fun because you had the expectation like, no, we're supposed to get that kill. Yeah. Instead of just like, oh man, that was fucking cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Where am I on that?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, it was like, it was like a kill was just like, okay, like expected.
Normal day, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we missed that block, or oh, we missed that dig, or oh, we got aced. It's like, oh my gosh. And then it was like freak out. And like you said about how you think Dylan and I play, we're very emotionally calm and we're able to, stay cool and collected under pressure situations. And I think that's definitely something that's helped a lot. It's like, there are a lot of things you can't control, but you can control how you react to things. And I think that like Dylan and I react well to pressure situations. We stay calm, we support one another, and we focus on what we can do, which is the next play at hand.
Right. Yeah, because you can only, like Cher said, if I could turn back time, you can only worry about the next play. Something you said about, we were talking about highs and lows. Mathematically, for the people listening, this I put it like this: for every 5 points you get emotionally high, you give up 9 on the low. Big waves crash, small waves don't. Small waves ebb and flow, and that to me, that's how I describe my psychological approach, or the players I like to coach or whatever. So that's a real thing. That's a real thing, and I'm so glad that you guys are doing well. Anything coming up before Huntington I should pay attention to?
Yeah, so there's this tournament in Cincinnati, which is pretty exciting. There's a bid to New York at stake, actually. So that's pretty big.
For the New York AVP?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going.
Yeah.
Need a coach?
Yeah.
I'm going. keep me busy. The only one I'm coaching right now is Rob and whoever he's playing with.
Yeah.
McLean. Sorry.
Yeah. And then I think there's a tournament in Santa Cruz for a bid to Huntington. Definitely gonna play in that. There's one last P1440 tournament at the end of March. So hoping to do well and then
as you and Dylan still?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Then April's kind of just getting ready for Huntington and getting ready for the grind of like traveling twice a month and qualifiers. Hopefully not for the full season but at least getting ready and then just. Yeah, I don't know. Playing and having fun. Like I haven't had an AVP season in like 2 years, and I'm thrilled for it. I love traveling around. I love getting to, do the thing that I love the most in this life. You
meet new people too. I mean,
exactly.
New York's nice. Chicago, I understand, is on fire.
Yeah,
that's the one I haven't been to, but at some point I'm going to.
Yeah, you should. Meeting new people, hanging out with the volleyball scene, because the volleyball community, we're tight and like everyone is friendly, and it's great because whether you've played with someone or haven't played with someone, I think that at the end of the day, like everyone's nice to one another, and sure there's a little shit talking here and there, but that's I think is partially show.
And I don't think you pay much attention to that anyway. I mean, I think you do a good job unwittingly not being oblivious to it. Maybe you program yourself or you just don't see it.
I'm aware of it, obviously, but
you program yourself then.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just like,
what are you gonna do?
Focused on himself.
Right, exactly. It's like sticks and stones can break my. But words can never hurt me. Yeah, that kind of saying. So it's like I don't really. Yeah, I almost sang the Rihanna song, like sticks and stones don't break my bones, but chains and whips excite me. But sorry, got my sayings mixed up a little bit, right? Great song, Rihanna. Great song.
I'm listening to Rihanna tonight. What's up, dude? Kelly, plug in the song, girl. She's upstairs. I know she can hear me. So I know at some point all things must come to an end, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the coronavirus shutting down a lot of the sports events. Harvard Harvard, the Ivy League was the first to step up. I don't know if you saw that. Harvard and Yale
Yeah.
were the first ones to say, hey,
They're not-
we know the winner gets a bid, but we're not doing this conference final. Not now.
Oh, they're not even doing spring athletics.
That's
They
right.
canceled all spring athletics.
No, I'll go one further.
All
Kelly
spring athletics.
Kelly said that told people to stay on spring break. They're not even coming back from spring break.
Yeah, so March 15th, everyone has to leave campus, and they're doing the remainder of classes remotely.
Skype or something.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I definitely, this is at least the biggest worldwide epidemic that I've experienced in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's good to be precautious because you never want anything bad to happen. Why put yourself in harm's way? But at the same
Yeah.
point, I definitely think that the mass hysteria is a little excessive and egregious. I would have to be.
Yeah, I mean, you can't find Purell on a shelf.
Yeah.
And you go to 5 different stores. That's a little over the top.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a zombie apocalypse, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, and if you look at it too, like statistically, there are smaller like the number of deaths are, smaller than a lot of other, concerns and risks in the world. And also, it's mainly targeting an older demographic. And that's not to say that like only old people are at risk for the coronavirus, and that we shouldn't take precautions, but it just seems to me like, I think it's probably the news hyping it up because it's good for ratings. People love watching like a police car chase, and they love hearing like, oh my gosh, what's the coronavirus update? Like, it's something like that the whole world can talk about and stay up to date on. It's like, yeah, but
there are certain things that they keep running, like 9/11. None of the phones worked, but the cable TV worked.
yeah.
In fact, people that didn't have cable got New York One for free the whole week. Just keeping the public informed, I guess. Yeah, but Jesus, I don't know. I didn't even mean to jump that route, but it's a real thing.
It's a hot topic right now.
It's a real thing.
It's crazy. So like,
but you're an alum, so I just thought it was really cool that the first ones that step up to the plate. In any major sporting event was the Ivy Leagues.
Yeah.
Harvard and Yale said, no, I think we're gonna chill at home. I'm gonna play some video games and Skype my class. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
In the spirit of volleyball, because you're a volleyball player, so this has to be a volleyball podcast. Where's the most fun place you played on the AVP stops?
Ooh, the most fun place. So like fun.
The place you look forward to going to.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's a good question. I think probably Manhattan. I mean, it's the granddaddy of them all. It's like the Wimbledon of beach volleyball.
Yeah.
And also, whose goal? Like, I think every beach volleyball player's goal is to have their name on the Manhattan Beach Pier. And like, to me, that's like, it's definitely on my bucket list. It's something I definitely want in this lifetime. And it's like a perfect intersection of my two careers. I do real estate and I do volleyball, and like, what better way to commemorate it than like getting your name on a volleyball plaque on a piece of real estate that like
that's going to be there longer than you.
Exactly.
It's going to be there longer than you.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, Manhattan's definitely. Plus, there's always like, I think there's just a lot of hype about it. There's it's always, I don't know, there's an energy about it that makes it feel so much bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, there is this nostalgia that comes with it. The only tournament I played in for beach was the Manhattan Open. I was 47. I'm 50 this year, so I wanted to play one when I moved here. I said, let me just play one before I get too what's the word? Old. Before I get too old. Yeah, so let me just play one. I played TK and Jake Rosner. We only put up like 6 points the first set, and then 16. I got like 3 blocks and 3 aces the second set. Just trying to do something, Yeah. Kevin was my de facto coach. He said, "Remember what I said about not jump serving? Just jump serve. What do you got to lose? Go." In my defense, I only got served once. I beat a 4-block switch. I'm left-handed. Just dropped my shoulder, and they're like, "Okay, Tyler Lucas is a short heavyset guy, and that's the guy they knew. So they're like, wait a second, we got to qualify. Let's just serve a bunch of balls to the devil we know." as opposed to this guy who we never even seen in our lives. So, But TK I met because TK played for Ramapo, and I was coaching Baruch College at the time and City College. So the NECVA conference, Northeastern Collegiate, they were all part of the whatever. So I knew TK when he played outside hitter for Ramapo for Donnie Nelson. So I knew people going in, but it is the granddaddy. It is nostalgic, and fucking love it, dude. Love it.
I definitely think I got to play on the stadium court there with Ben in 2017, and that was definitely an experience. And so like definitely want to do that again, hopefully this year. And
I see a lot, man. It's gonna be so much fun, dude. It's gonna be so much fun because you got this attack style defense. You guys are so aggressive on defense, and your trans game is so clean, and you guys have such trust in each other to just take chances without judgment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Let's say you throw up a 3-block, but you see something different. You pull a stunt. Maybe you just both hands crossed. If you get burned line, Dylan's not looking at you like you're crazy,
Yeah.
And that's cool to work with it. You guys are able to. You don't have to worry about dealing with your partner or other, right? Having your partner, not having to deal with your partner is golden, my man. It is golden. Yeah.
We trust each other to do our responsibilities, and at the end of the day, it's like it's your domain, so do what you see and do what you think's right. And I'd say fortune favors the bold. So I definitely think it's good to make
no
bold
doubt
decisions and
Yeah.
try.
Look, I can go Shakespeare up and down on you right now, but I'm not going. I'm going to go to a wrestler, The Undertaker. Said, ain't no shame in fighting and getting your ass kicked, but ain't no honor in not fighting at all. Should I leave it at that?
I think so.
All right. Before we go, I want to plug in. Big up to the U.S. Women's national soccer team, telling people to take the offer and go kick rocks. This whole thing, I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah.
This whole thing where they it's going to be on Sports Debate Tuesday next Tuesday because now I got to wait a week. I waited a week to talk about Spike Lee. Okay, we ain't going to talk about the Knicks. But big up to them to tell them to take that offer and shove it. Okay, because the rationalization that everybody had was, well, the men are generating more revenue. Every sport where men are making more than women, it's like, well, women don't move the needle. They move the needle, then we pay you. But now you got a team that's more popular than the men. Pay them. This is a situation where they use that excuse, that BS excuse, as a reason why they're making less. They're all out of excuses. Pay these women. Thank God for volleyball that everybody makes money, the same money across the board, because there's certain women that move the needle just as well as the men does. The most popular beach player, the most transcendent one, Kerry Walsh, isn't even in the AVP. A woman. All right? Miss T. Mays, retired. They know Phil, but some people just know him as the ball guy. They don't know his name. But they will know Branden Clemens.
I hope so.
They will know Branden Clemens. They will never forget the name. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our podcast for Miranda Gagne, my hostess with the mostest. Where you at? Right there. From my boy Branden Clemens. I have stars in my eyes when I see him, but for all of you, for now, I am Jason DeBias, and I say so long. Love you. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.